Go to64 here. I'm back with another Screeps video, this time to show you how you can get started on mineral mining and how to set up basic market orders. Once you reach core level 6, you'll be able to start mining the mineral patch in your room. And in order to do that, you first have to build an extractor on the mineral patch. I've already done that. You'll also be able to build a terminal structure, which you can use for trading your mineral with other players. So since you need different minerals to do reactions in your labs, you probably want to sell some of what you have for credits and then buy something else that you can do reactions with. But first we have to create a creep that can actually mine the mineral patch. So I'll create a new role and I'll call it Extractor. And as usual, I have prepared some code in advance. So let's see how it works. So the first part is pretty standard. I keep a Boolean variable in memory to keep track of whether we are extracting or going back to the terminal to unload. What's a little different is that when you're mining minerals, you don't have a shortcut to the specific storage item like you do with energy. So in order to see if your creep is full, you have to do the sum of everything that's in its storage. You could of course specify the specific mineral that you're mining, but then you would have to do it differently depending on what mineral is in your room. So this is the general way of setting up your script. I also decided to just suicide my creep if it has less than 200 ticks to live. That's because it's quite slow to mine minerals, so to avoid wasting time mining minerals and just dying, I did this. But of course you can also choose to renew your creep, or if you've seen my previous video about container mining, you could certainly consider to build a container down here and actually do container mining like I'm doing with the energy nodes. But for now I've decided to keep a very simple script and just have the creep actually walking down here and mining. But you can refine it yourself. So then if we are extracting, then I keep the ID of this deposit in memory. But of course it won't be there the first time when the creep is just born. So if we don't have the ID in memory, then we do a find on minerals to find the mineral patch. And then I store the ID of the mineral patch in the creep's memory and also store the type of mineral that we're mining. And then next time we get to this code, the deposit ID will be in memory and we can do the faster getObjectById, which requires less CPU than find. And then we try to harvest the mineral patch. If it's not in range, then we move to it. And when we are not extracting, which means we are offloading, then we check if there's a terminal in the room. In that case, we try to transfer to it. And here we need the mineral type from memory, because we have to specify what mineral we want to transfer. And if it's not in range, we move to the terminal. And in order to make this script general, so you can also use it in rooms without a terminal, but just the storage, I've also added the storage here, so you can transfer to the storage instead if there's no terminal. So let's include the script in the main script. So we want the creep to execute its script if it is a extractor creep. like that. And then we just need to also spawn a creep that can work as an extractor. And I'll give it 2 work units, 2 carry units, and 2 move units for now. Like that. And then hopefully we should see the extractor spawning. It does that now. And then it will move down here to the mineral patch and start mining. And mining is a very slow process. Unlike the energy mining, it doesn't mine once every tick. There's a cooldown, so I think it's every 5th tick that it actually mines something. So it's much slower than mining energy. So now the creep has actually started mining, but as you can see, it doesn't mine every tick, so it's a very slow process, and it will take a while before it's full. While the creep is mining, we can start looking at how to set up market orders. When you start out, you have 0 credits. I have some credits because I've already been selling some minerals. But when you start, you have 0 credits, and setting up a sell order on the market costs credits. So as far as I can see, when you are starting out, the only thing you can really do is sell some of your minerals to someone who has set up a buy order for them. So let's have a look at how we can do that. And again, I have prepared some code. So I'll put that in at the bottom of my main script. And let's look at how it works. So first I check if there's actually a terminal in the room. That's just in case someone might have destroyed my terminal structure. And then I do a modulus operation on game time and check if it's equal to 0. The effect of this is that this piece of code will only execute once every 10 ticks because market orders don't change so often, so I don't see any reason to execute it every tick. But you can of course also set this up further if you want to have it at even fewer ticks, like probably 50 is fine. Then I check if my terminal is storing at least 2000 energy, because transferring to another player costs some energy. So we need some in the terminal. And I also check if the terminal has at least 2000 hydrogen, because I only want to sell my surplus. Then I get all the orders which are for hydrogen and which are buy orders and which have an energy cost of less than 400 for transferring 200 units. So that's because I don't want a very high energy cost by selling to someone that is in a room far away. The further away the room is, the more energy it costs. Then I sort all the orders so that the one with the highest price is first in the array. And then I check the first order in the array. If the price is at least 0.7 credits, then I want to accept the order. So then I execute a deal for this order, selling 200 units from the room that my spawn here is in. And the rest is just some logging that I'm doing to be able to see on the console that something is actually happening. So now we just need to wait, because I already have 1900 units of hydrogen. So once the extractor creep here gets back to the terminal with the minerals, we should see this code executing. And while we are waiting for that, I can just show you how you can also look at market orders from the console. So perhaps now that you have hydrogen here, you want to buy some Godium that you can combine in your lab. So I can use this code on the console to look for sell orders for Godium. But the output, as you can see, is just some objects, so that's not very helpful. But if we put JSON.stringify around this, then we actually get some readable output. So you can see this is a sell order for 4,861 Godium, and the price is 250. So this is how you can look at orders from the console if you just want to see what's near your room. So the extractor creep is now finally done mining and is heading back to the terminal with a full load. So now we should see the amount increasing here. So now we have 2000, and this should make our order code execute in just a moment. It only executes every 10 ticks, so it may take a moment. And now we see it found 14 buy orders. The best price was 0.75, so the order was completed successfully. So now there's 1800 hydrogen left, and I now have 900 credits. So your next step will probably be to buy some minerals that you can combine with whatever you have in your room, and then set up a lab chain and process those minerals into something else. But I'll leave that as a topic for another video. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.